welcome to Just Add Juice, a podcast where mom life meets business building. I'm your host, Brittany Hunter, virtual assistant and mom to a sweet baby girl. I'm so excited about this episode today because this is episode 1 of a 8-part series that I'm doing where I'm taking you step by step through the process of creating a virtual assistant business. This is based off of my workbook, 7 Days to VA Mom Mentality, that I have coming out very soon. And it's going to be a preview of what's in the workbook so you can decide if becoming a virtual assistant is right for you and if the workbook is something that you think would help you get there. So today I'm going to start off with what it means to be a virtual assistant and the benefits of choosing this type of service-based business to start. A virtual assistant business is a great option for moms, whether they're looking to replace their 9-to-5 so that they can have more flexibility and be there for their kids, or if they're a stay-at-home mom looking to bring in extra income to take care of the bills, to take care of a few fun family trips. And speaking of family trips, this is the perfect way to be available for whenever the kids are off school, to just pick up everything and go whenever you decide without having to ask a boss for the time off. So a few of the key benefits to this type of business is that you get to decide where you work, whether that's at home, in a cafe, in an office, or maybe even if that's at a hotel room on vacation, if you need to take care of some client work for an hour, get a project done. You're not stuck at home having to say no to a vacation just because you have some client work to take care of. You can take it with you and you can work as little or as much as you want, which brings me to the next benefit of when you work, you get to decide if you want to take care of some client work early in the morning, during the day, lunchtime, nap times, maybe late at night after your kids have gone to bed. Maybe you only want to work Monday through Thursday, have a 3-day weekend every weekend, or maybe you are only able to work on the weekend. It's totally up to you. Whatever life looks like for you, you get to decide when you want to take care of it. You're not stuck at your desk in an office from 8 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever it is. You get to decide when and how you work. You also have the flexibility of deciding what you want to do every day. You're the one who is deciding what types of services you like to offer. You can focus on your strengths, your interests, your passions, and you're not forced to take on a project that just doesn't align with your interests or your values. You also have the option to batch your work, so you can take care of certain types of tasks on certain days of the week, and if you need to take some calls, you can decide to have Wednesdays be your client call days. It's totally up to you. And one of my favorite parts of this type of business is that you get to decide what clients you want to work with. You get to decide what industry you'd like to work with and what clients actually align with your interests, your values. And you can work with people that you actually believe in what they're doing and how they're helping their customers. Plus, all of this can evolve over time. When you get started, you're not stuck in all of your first decisions. You get to decide what works best for you at this point in your life and then change it over time. And that goes for everything. You can totally change the services you provide or totally change the types of clients that you help. And you're doing all of this being able to make great pay. We'll get into this later, but pricing your services is also up to you. And you can make great money in little time, especially once you get better and more efficient at the services you're providing and when you get used to the clients and what their expectations are as well. Now, I do want to take a moment to touch on AI because I'm seeing AI pop up in so many different industries in so many different tasks. And while we're still technically in the beginning stages of AI, even though it seems like it is exploding and able to do everything, it will get better over time. But the great thing about being a virtual assistant is that you can, one, use AI to help you work more efficiently, help you work faster. So over time, with the right tools, you'll be able to actually earn more income because you have what you need to work faster. You can even help more people, which means that your income is going to increase. Or depending on your goals, you can just take that extra time to do whatever you want, whether that's be there with family, hang out with friends, take care of extra things around the house. You'll be able to focus on whatever suits your needs. Plus, there are always going to be things that businesses need your help with, and it's something that AI just cannot replace. So, for example, so many businesses prefer their client communication to sound authentic and real. They want it to sound like them a lot of times, but they also just want it to sound like their business. And a real person is really going to be able to take that and help their clients in that way. It's also important to get business strategy from a person who is skilled at that. There's AI programs that help with strategy and give off ideas, but when it comes to the actual decision making day to day in a business, real people need to work together on the team to make decisions that support the business's goals. And that also leads me to project management. Project and team management is huge, and it is what keeps the business going. Copywriting is another thing that really needs the human touch, and that involves everything from emails to blogs to social media posts, podcast descriptions, YouTube video descriptions. The list goes on and on and on with copywriting. And in regards to that back-end work, so websites, YouTube, even social media management, podcasting, real people are needed on the team to take care of tech stuff like that and to make sure that everything is working smoothly together and that it fits into the business's overall strategy. There are also some businesses that need coaching and things that involve communicating person to person and really getting a feel for the person's needs to help them succeed is huge. AI just simply cannot replace that. The need for human interaction in that way is always going to be there. You also have VAs who focus on things like bookkeeping, accounting, anything that involves confidential data is something that having a trusted VA is going to be super important. Again, you need the back-end knowledge of the business's goals, and you need to be able to be trusted with all of that confidential information. So these are just a few of the areas which you can use your VA skills and help businesses. And there are so many more where this comes from. I actually include a ton of ideas in the workbook for you. That way you can brainstorm and get a better idea of what interests you, what skills you have, and what skills you may want to develop for your business. Now, a lot of people decide to start product-based businesses, and while that can be a lot of fun, and as a business owner, you still have the ability to make your own decisions, the flexibility is limited when you have products to manage and things like that. You still typically need to buy and keep inventory on hand. That's an upfront cost that you just don't have with a VA business. You're also more likely having to stick to a certain location. You can't always work from a cafe or a library if you want. You're often at the mercy of when orders are coming in. So if you have a lot of orders you have to process, you can't just decide to take the afternoon off if you want to get the orders out. Now, over the next few weeks, we're going to go over the steps of starting your VA business. And it does include mindset, because mindset is such a huge part of this process, as you've probably already gathered from the first few episodes of this podcast. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about actually getting started and what your first few steps can be. The next episode will be about working through imposter syndrome and how you don't have to overcome imposter syndrome in order to start your business and be successful at it. There's ways to take imposter syndrome and continue taking the steps to reach your goals. After that, we're going to work through mom guilt. And that's another thing that we're not necessarily going to overcome, but there are ways to manage it. And yes, a lot of that has to do with mindset work. Next, we're going to go over the skills that you have or that you can develop in order to start offering your services to businesses. Then we'll dive into designing the actual kind of business you want. Because a lot of times, if you go in blind without a real plan, you can end up with a business that you just don't enjoy and doesn't work for your lifestyle and who you want to be as a business owner. There's no reason to have to hustle and work nights and weekends if that's not what you want to do. So taking some time to think about it and design what will work for you, it's going to get you excited and motivated to keep going. Then we're going to talk about boss mentality and how to look like a professional to all the clients you'd like to work with. Finally, we will tackle actually finding clients. So we'll go into the details on how to prepare and how to actually reach out to the types of clients that you want. And again, when you get your hands on the full workbook, it's going to dive into so many more details than we can go over a podcast episode. Plus, it'll include affirmations to help you along the way with your mindset work. And it'll include a ton of journal prompts that'll help get you to brainstorm and tackle each step as we go. So I'm super excited, but this is going to be a great introduction into what it takes to really get started in building your VA business. So if you're ready to daydream, strategize, and plan out a business that'll help you reach both your professional and personal goals, this is going to be the perfect place to get started. And this is all starting next week. I can't wait to get started with you. Let's do this.